Hello and welcome back to the smoke room. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Sam went to sleep. After getting his, I guess it's a tuxedo, hemmed by Cynthia. But before that, during the day, Sam kind of got Murdoch to confess that his family is not the nicest of people and they probably would get rid of him if they had the chance to. And that Murdoch's delusion that, oh, they keep me around because I'm useful is... You shouldn't think that way, dude. And what else? What else happened? Oh yeah, William caught up with Sam, asked him some questions, and Sam kind of diverted some of the suspicion over to Nick. Or maybe not suspicion, but kind of sent the investigation towards the Badger, which, it's not going to reflect good on poor Nick and also on Sam when Nick comes a knocking and saying like, hey, why did you tell them that I, did something? But anyways, let's continue and see what happens. I am not an angel, I asserted, and I will not be one until I die. I will be myself. Mr. Rochester, you must neither expect nor exact anything celestial of me, for you will not get it, any more than I shall get it from you, which I do not at all anticipate. What do you think Brunette means with what Jane is saying here, Miss Boyke? Oh. She was looking at me, so I knew this was coming. I felt my face screw up, trying to stall. What did it mean, really? I suppose that she might be saying that she doesn't care that she's bad? Miss Burns just gives me a quick smile, like she always does whenever I say something wrong. Well, let's take a look at it line by line, shall we? I am not an angel. Is an angel something that a person should want to be? Well, God loves them. But remember, even in a biblical sense, angels are soulless. Angels are said to be jealous of man and woman's rights to atone, and to choose who they wish to be. So you're saying my mama is calling me soulless when I behave like an angel? I think she's saying that we don't act like ourselves when we only do what others want us to do. Well put, Miss Washington. Though I would still like to hear more from Miss Boyke. You must neither expect nor exact anything celestial of me, for you will not get it, any more than I shall get it from you. What does celestial mean? The stars? Right, the stars, the planets, the heavens. Distant, unreachable, unearthly things. She's a person, not a star, nor a planet, nor an angel. Exactly. She's of this world, tangible, understandable, approachable, in flaws and favors. And what about the last part? For you will not get it any more than I shall get it of you. Women don't expect divinity from mortal men, so men shouldn't expect it from women either? Which I do not at all anticipate. She knows with certainty that she will not receive divinity. They are not yet equals in understanding one another. Jane herself is far ahead of Mr. Rochester in this respect. Why don't you both give me your favorite quotes from the novel, and we can close a lesson on that? Oh, sure. Let me just find where I highlighted it in the book. I'm ready to read mine. Go ahead. Conventionally is not morality. Self-righteousness is not religion. To attack the first is not to assail the last. Oh no. That's a good one. Why'd you have to go first, Blithe? I had a feeling that you'd like that one, Miss Washington. Miss Boyke? Well, it's maybe not as good, but you told us to pick our favorite. So here's mine. I coughed to clear my voice. Oh, I dare say she's crying because She could not go out with Mrs. in the carriage, interposed Bessie. Surely not. Why? She's too old for such pettishness. I thought so too. And my self-esteem being wounded by the false charge, I answered promptly. I never cried for such a thing in my life. I hate going out in the carriage. I cry because I am miserable. Miss Burns' eyebrows perked up. Okay, let's focus on what Jane is saying there. Now, why did you pick that one? Well, sometimes I don't get enough sleep. And when I have to wake up too early, I feel like I want to cry a lot. So this makes me feel better about that. If we can feel more alive when we cry, I think that's a nice sentiment. I think what Jane may be talking about there is owning the deliberation of her emotions and not allowing them to be misinterpreted. But if we expand on your interpretation of the passage, we could apply it to how sobering it is to feel anything, right? Feeling is a part of thinking, and as Descartes says, I think, therefore I am. That ties fairly well into my favorite quote, which I conclude today's lesson with. Do you think that I am an automaton, a machine without feelings, and can bear to have my morsel of bread snatched up from my lips, and my drops of living water dashed from my cup? Do you think because I am poor, obscure, plain, and little, I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much soul as you, and full as much heart. And if God had gifted me with such beauty and much wealth, I should have made it as hard for you to leave me as it is now for me to leave you. I am not talking to you now through the medium of custom, conventionalities, nor even of mortal flesh. It is my spirit that addresses your spirit. Just as if both had passed through the grave and we stood at God's feet, equal as we are. She closes her book with a light puff, still smiling. Class dismissed. After I tuck all my things into my handbag, I rise, still feeling a little dizzy. Blithe is waiting for me outside the hall. I can't for the life of me figure out how she's so fast. She starts talking to me as we walk. Thank the Lord that that's over. I'll say. I can't stand that class. Oh? Oh? Well, I meant that reading out loud, not the class. I'm growing fond of it. But it's way too fucking easy. I could just read all these books at home. Well, I don't know how you manage. Half of the words these people say I haven't even seen before. So maybe consider buying a dictionary? I don't want to go back and forth between two books to read a single story. Well, you should for things like this. Talking about it helps for me. If you say so. Nobody said anything I needed to hear yet. Well, sorry, not everybody's a genius like you. You don't have to be a genius to pick up what's going on in books. It's just like being good at listening to somebody. Oh, is it? Yeah, huh? So, you know how in a conversation sometimes people say things without saying them? Like when you know what somebody could be saying, but how they say it changes the meaning? Like when Bailey Freeman says you must be drinking milk when she really means that you're gaining weight? Sort of. But instead, books can do that with the descriptions of images on top just the dialogue of the characters are saying. Like how La Puta is the name of the flying castle made by the big-brained scholars in Gulliver's Travels. But it also means the whore, because they're lacking common sense. Well, if reading is just like having a conversation with somebody, it makes perfect sense why I struggle. If somebody makes me uncomfortable, I don't want to spend hours of my life with them all by my lonesome. The good thing about books is that you can skim them to read faster. I can't make people talk faster. Without threats, I mean. I doubt I'll ever get fast at reading with the dictionary open. It's not that bad. When you can focus, maybe. You mentioned having sleep problems? Just lots of bad dreams. Mostly ever since Mary read the letter. I don't blame you. That was gross. I still haven't heard from her since her family moved away. I'm surprised that they talk to you at all. They only seem to like the other Protestant families. Well, Billy gave me an address and I sent a letter. Billy fucking Bedwetter? Oh, you stop that. That was years ago. His mom chased him down the street with those sheets. Regardless, I don't think he's a liar. She wasn't wearing a bra and I saw everything. She had those orangutan titties. Blythe! What? Shut up! Sorry, just reliving a dire situation. All I know is that I'm probably going to get a letter one day now, and you're going to be eating your words. That's so? Why, yes, indeedy. You want to head down to the tromping grounds tonight? What for? Found a bunch of money somebody dropped. Bought a cozy bit of carpet, an end table, and some pillows. Well, we haven't had a sleepover in a while. Shit, I told my mom that I'd wash her tablecloth tonight. Their anniversary is coming up soon. Boring. You don't have to remind me. Maybe tomorrow night? I'll hold you to it then. The house is quiet when I get back. I guess Ma and Pop are out. But there's a letter on the table. It's small, neatly folded. But it has a sweet scent. I know that smell. Mediterranean peach. Mary. Jailbird. That's the poem that I wrote about her. Blissful in your golden-coated burrows. Warbling in your warble. Twittering and twiggy-legged. Sitting impossibly pretty. But patiently professing. Your vanity will bring you a key. This perfume used to be the only thing that she would wear. She liked that it was brand new. She called mine cheap. I can't believe she put something as expensive as this on a piece of paper. Unless it was for a boyfriend. She and Billy weren't. I feel my mouth go a little dry. Well, maybe they are now, if he knows her new address. She has to know that he's still the delivery boy. But that doesn't make sense. She was always so mean to him. Ugh. I'm just being paranoid. I should be grateful that she spent the time to send me a letter in the first place. She probably doesn't have any new friends yet. But she never had a problem making friends, did she? Anyway, I opened it as carefully as I can with my dad's letter opener. But it almost seems like it's waxed from the inside. There's a strange heaviness to it. And it sticks to the sides when I try to open it. I need your help, Melissa Boyk. I can't get out of town. That man who sent me letters tried to hurt me. Then so did my parents. I'm hiding in your tromping grounds. Might die if you don't save me. I have to reread what I'm seeing. More than once. This looks like her handwriting. But everybody said that she had moved away. Mary didn't like jokes. That's why she wasn't fun. Billy knew about this too. But why the hell didn't he say anything? I know he's dumb, but he's not that dumb. Why would she be in the tromping grounds, though? We only took her there once. Those tunnels can go for miles if you don't know what you're doing. Blythe's the one who knows what she's doing. But can I wait for her this time? How long has Mary been down there? This is stupid. This is so stupid. Somebody needs me, and I'm wasting time. I can't wait for Blythe to hold my hand anymore. I take out a bottle of ink and a pen, and a piece of cardstock, and I start writing. Mary is somewhere in the tromping grounds. Billy knows, I think. Have to find her. I can feel my paws shaking. Come find me too, if I'm not at school tomorrow. I put it underneath the mat behind the back door of my house. She'll check it at night, whenever she's able to get away from her dad. I know he doesn't like her very much, but that never seems to bother her. I know it would bother me, though. It does bother me. Why does everybody have to be so nasty in this community? Mean and high-strung and crazy. Even Mary was mean. Mean in her own way. But she doesn't deserve to be holed up in the ground, running from some freak. Or her own parents. I'm coming, Mary. You can live with us for a while if you need to. When I open the door to the mausoleum, I can smell peaches again. Does that mean that she was down here recently? I open the covering to the tunnel, and the smell is stronger. Mary? Nobody answers. But I hear the wind rustling out, and there's a flapping sound. Another letter is tucked between the walls and the frame of the support beams. This one smells sickly sweet, almost like it was soaked in the whole bottle. I pluck it out. It's damp. I have to be careful with this one, or it feels like it will fall apart. If the first letter made it to you, you're getting close. I'm hiding in the mines. I stare a bit at this one and feel something wrong. If she made it this far, why wouldn't she wait near the entrance? Did she think that the creep following her knew about the tromping grounds? I wouldn't think so. Me and Blithe have been down here hundreds of times. We would have seen somebody if anybody else knew about it. Unless she told. She was never really good at keeping a secret. But why would she tell somebody who she was afraid of? Maybe it was somebody she trusted? I guess I can ask her myself when I find her. I'm not the best at finding my way to the path that leads to the mines, but luckily there's still a smell to follow. It's like she's leaving breadcrumbs for my nose. I'm starting to hate the smell of peaches. The smell is so sweet and so thick that it feels slightly off. Like fruit in the sun that's been rotting. Ahead of me, in the light of the sunbeam, I can see another letter. It's in a big room on top of a big pile of rocks. I'm not the best climber, but I could probably get it if I tried. But for some reason, I don't want to. For some reason, I stop. I can feel my heart in my throat. This just isn't like the Mary I knew. The Mary I knew didn't like to get dirty, much less leave a breadcrumb trailed down into a mine shaft. She wasn't that exciting. I know that I'm not supposed to get that letter. Especially now. Because I can hear breathing around the corner. It's faint, but it's there. Deep breathing that has to belong to a grown man. Tears well up in my eyes. I cover my mouth with my hand and breathe through my nose. And I walk backwards. Slowly. Until I hear him stand up. And break into a run. Oh no! Oh God, no. He's behind me now. I can't bother with pretending to be quiet now. I have to be fast. And go as quickly as I can in any way that I can. Any way away from him. I can hear him again. He's not even trying to be quiet. He's rasping as he runs. I can hear how much he hates me. He doesn't even know me, and I know he hates me. But I know where I am now. I can shake him. I keep turning. And turning. Looking for the dots of paint Blithe put down. I find a pathway that's too thin to fit through, where my feet are covered in water. But something catches me. I'm falling and I feel a splash. My clothes are covered in water and I'm soaked to the bone. But I don't care about that right now. Because what I see in front of me is so much worse. I remember Mary's favorite dress. It's pink like bubblegum and has puffy sleeves. It was the kind of pink that you see a baby swaddled in. It matches the inside of her ears and the rosy blush of her nose. But Mary's whole nose is gone. I want to go back. I want to go back before this happened. When we pretended like we didn't even like each other. When we pulled each other's hair when the teachers weren't looking. When she told me that she'd marry the next president and then I told her that I wouldn't have her as a wife. Mary doesn't belong in a place like this. Mary belongs in a glamorous place. Like one of her parties. Full of light and admirers. Holding a glass of something fizzy that she's not supposed to be holding. No. No, no, no. We're all just babies. I can hear my voice crack. My whole breath is ripped out of my chest. And I can't even scream anymore. Because I just want to cry and cry and cry. And I have my tears raise the waters in this god-forsaken cavern. Have it fill every nook. And wash away every secret. Until it is flushed clean. Of people. And their perversions of what is good. And what is magic and sacred and special. She was Miss Applegate's baby. It's drowning me out. She was Miss Applegate's baby, and you killed her! The cave water is drowning me out. And I want to throw up. And so I start to. And in spite of that, the tears feel more forceful than the bile. How could somebody do this? How could somebody choose to do this? I shouldn't have come here on my own. It was already too late. But what can I do now? Who can I go to? What can I say? We were told that all of the Applegates moved away. Are they all dead somewhere too? Or did they just leave her? If I try to bring Mary, then I'll get caught. And I'll end up just like her. Mary, I have to go. And I won't be back. I want her to beg me not to go. But I know that she can never, ever speak again. I can't take you with me. I'm sorry. I'll bring back strong people. Good people. They'll get you out of here. We'll hang the guy who did it. And they'll never do it again. I shake my head. Never, ever, ever again. Goodbye. My eyes sting so much that I can't even see where I'm going. But I don't need to. I just have to climb. Rabbits are good at climbing. And they keep moving. One paw forward. One leg backwards. I wonder if I'm having a heart attack. She's still out there. I cover my mouth. I don't know what I heard exactly, but I could tell that it's speaking. It sounds wrong. How do you know, spirit? The other voice belongs to a man. It belongs to a man, and it makes me sick. Because I know what I like. And it's absolutely leaking everywhere. Spare me your carnal tastes. You have them too. There's no pleasure in this business. There need not be joy. It just needs to work. And it will. After everything you had me do, it better. You came to me with nothing. You are, in almost every sense, nothing. I'm nothing? You could do none of this on your own. You will be grateful. And you will do better to learn to like what you are. That's what I did. It's part of the secret. I will have none of your secrets. I will have results, and then I will be gone from this abominable place. You make it sound so easy. I'm experienced. No. You're fading. Everybody's lights go out forever. You began your life as nothing, and you will return to nothing. The only way forward is to become something by learning and indulging. Your indulgence is an abomination. Yet, it is something. You don't even have that. I will never want what you have. And you never will. But for now, we want the same reckoning to pass. Go fetch her for me while her insides are still warm. If I can find her. Wait. No, never mind. It's too late. What's too late? You failed, you poor creature. I have to go. Yes, I have to go. And she'll be spoiled. Unbelievable. I really wanted this. How sad. You don't realize it yet, but every failure you commit undermines your chances to escape. I don't rely on you for such a thing. And yet, you must. Or else your eyes will be opened. And you'll wish it was me who did the prying. Come back another night with a fresher piece of ass. Why are you leaving? Spirit? Answer me, Spirit! The man began to mumble. Miserable wet shit! And then his voice faded. And the only sound that was left was once again the roar of the cave water. Every moment that I stay still, I feel a little closer to death. So I have to start moving again. I have to get out and tell people about Mary. About these monsters. I climb until I can't see any light anymore. The further I go, the darker it gets. Then finally, eventually, I can see light again. Light from the ceiling. Light from the sun. Wait. No. No! I hear myself screaming. Then I see the end of my bed frame. So I must be sitting up. Okay. Fine. Time to get out of bed. Bloody Mary, Mother of Christ! I gasp for air again. No need to be delicate about this. Not like this is the first time that this has happened before. Time to collect my thoughts. Who did I hear? What did I see? I saw myself, only it was earlier in the week. The letter. The tunnels. Mary's body. Voices I couldn't place. I saw Mr. Ayers there too, watching with me. Except, he was alone this time. I saw where Melissa hid. And what she saw. Maybe it couldn't get to her? Thinking about it doesn't matter now. The way forward is clear. I need matches and a lamp. Spikes, a hammer. A flask. Rope. And a weapon. Would a weapon even work on a spirit like that? Probably not. They usually don't. But spirits aren't usually what I have to worry about. Wonder if my epi will be enough. I slip the sheath of the sword around my waist. It's early enough that I can sneak into the living room. I don't hear anybody moving outside of the hallway, so I grab my bag. The loose floorboard is in the kitchen by the sink. I'll have to take a crowbar to it if the damn thing is stuck. Thankfully, it isn't. I feel around for the cold metal handle. There it is. I pull it out and put it in my bag. There's a box of bullets too. I doubt I'll need to refill. But more ammo couldn't hurt. The door to my father's bedroom opens. Shit. Gonna have to scramble to put the floorboards back in on time. Crab walk time. Blithe? I jump to my feet now. You answer me now, Blithe Washington. Why is there so much rustling going on out of here? I brush the dust off my skirt. Just finishing up breakfast. I can't see you. Come on over here. I don't have time for this. Now? He's sitting at the table with a newspaper in his hand. You feed the chickens? Did last night. And collect the eggs? What there was to collect. Then he lowers it. Don't bother lying if you can't tell a good one. I know what look he's giving me. Where are you going? Out and about. For what? More games? Likely a bit of sparring. You think playing with swords is gonna put food on the table? If I rob him? Always got something to say, don't you? Mom is looking at me now too. She's sitting in the chair beside him. Believe me when I say that I know the world is changing. And hallelujah for that. His eyes are bulging. But one thing that won't change is that the world will work you to the bone. And I don't want to catch you sitting pretty waiting for a good man to take you in. You need a plan. I have to shift the weight of my bag on my shoulder and the hilt on my waist. Well, I like to think that I'm pretty good at those. I'm gonna need you to convince me. I'll work on that. He stares at me. I promise. Don't promise me anything. Show me. I said I'll work on that. Keep it ship-shape, little missy. Now come on over and give me a hug. Nah. Nah? Can't even give your old man hugs anymore. It's strange. He chews on the inside of his lips when he hears that and huffs. Guess you'd be an expert on strange. Mom still doesn't say anything. I think now that most people don't when they're dead. If that really is her. We'll pick this discussion back up tonight. If your chores are handled, I won't keep you. Have a good day at work. See you soon. I walk out the door wondering if that's the last thing my dad will ever say to me. Not as dramatic as I would have liked it to be. Then again, I don't like to lose. And I won't climb back out of this godforsaken pit without my fucking friend. No! When I wake up, the bed is wet from my own sweat. My head is spinning, and it feels like I was choking underwater. I'm so greedy for fresh air that my throat hurts. I'm trying hard to remember everything before it slips away because I know it was important. It's like I was trapped following that girl. And the other girl was there too. Or at least, I think she was. I know I felt her eyes on me. I don't think I've ever had a dream like that before. It was like a memory. But the pieces were all out of order. And I'm forgetting everything faster than I can control. There's a familiar feeling sticking to me. A sour, sordid feeling that churns in my gut like curdled milk. Whatever I dreamt, that girl saw. Whatever horrible thing it was, I have this strange familiarity attached to it. Like it's something I've seen before because of something I did. Something long before I ever even came to this town. But there's this other sense that I have that's nagging me. Like it's not real. Like it's made up. Or it doesn't even belong to me. I clean myself up and get dressed for the day. I almost forget to take the suit with me, but I snatch it up from the closet right before I leave. When I get to the store, I'm handed a list of tasks. Murdoch lets me handle the inventory of the store, and I'm grateful for that. Most of the day passes without incident. Mostly just a steady stream of people purchasing canned goods and disposable paper products. A well-dressed older woman comes in inquiring for something called strychnine, and Ralph moves quickly to help her. I don't have any time or any place to talk about what I dreamt last night. And part of me is grateful for that too. When my mind's on my own work, there isn't much room for other things. I think I understand now why idle thoughts are dangerous. You there! I'm so surprised by this man's appearance that I have to bite my own tongue to keep myself from letting loose an unholy string of expletives. We're closing up shop early today. Tell my son and the cashier that they should go back to their houses to prepare for the bachelor party. I feel like he should be telling them this instead since he's the boss. But I know better than to argue. We're prepared on our end. Everything's already sorted. Good, I'll be late to the house, if I can make it at all. He nods. Off you all go! I nod and then pull my suit from one of the closets and sling it over my left shoulder. I'm really looking forward to the days when I don't have to carry around formal wear like an idiot. Y'all mind if we talk while we walk? The two of them look at one another. About what? Similar stuff to what we talked about at the lake. Not really the time nor the place. Unless you think it's urgent? Not really sure. It was a dream after all. They both tense up. There's a history of weird dreams becoming particularly lucid around these parts. Though if it relates to what we talked about at the lake, I haven't the faintest idea. Do any of those dreams ever turn out to be about things that really happened? Or things that can come true? I sure hope not. Or else you're gonna be banging my brains out soon. Oh. Ralph. Oh, come now. That one was easy. Anyway, I had strange dreams before myself. Oh? Holly once talked about an idea written by the French philosopher Emilio Adrift. I can already feel my eyes glazing over. Uh-huh. He had written about why cultures around the world might believe in premonitions or prophecy. The idea suggests that people can experience a sensation for the first time while distracted or addled. But then, when the second time happens, memory of the first kicks in, and it feels much stronger and much more eerie. I see. I don't think that's what happened. Maybe not, but it's the first thing that I could think of. Thanks, anyway. Do you remember much about the dream? To be honest, it's fading quick. Now I'm down to bare-bone details. Even the voices in them are getting harder to place. Like when you hear a person talking, but you're both underwater. Murdoch droops a little at that, and Ralph's eyes narrow. I should change the subject. Forget it. It's not important. We all stopped to let a tumbleweed pass us by. So, what should I know to be ready for this bachelor party? Never been to a bachelor party before, Sam? Never really knew many bachelors. At least, not rich ones. Get ready for lots of drinking and a stripper or two. Sounds like every night at the hip. As it happens... He gives me a slightly apologetic grin. No. That's the venue. Christ. I'd hoped one of the people I work with could have warned me about something like this. I could have left my damn suit in my closet too. Except you don't work there. Remember? You really think folks would have noticed? The fox and the rat exchange skeptical glances. They'd know. No doubt. Here we are. I can see the Burns' house peeking out from behind a row of houses. And there's somebody standing at the gate. It's Miss Burns. Goodness me. Looks like the cavalry's here. You all must be at least an hour early. Murdoch opens his mouth, but she turns her attention to the gate. I certainly hope that you're all fed and aren't thirsty because sun teas take at least 3 hours, and the batch in the backyard has at least an hour to go. That won't be necessary. Making a guest comfortable is always necessary, Murdy. Yeah, that's right, Murdy. Murdoch glares at him. 9 out of 10 guests will tell you that they aren't thirsty. But you put a cup of tea in front of them without asking, and they'll almost always drink. If only you learned a little bit of hospitality, then your housemate might not be skin and bones. That put a grin on Murdoch's face and wiped the smile off of Ralph. I hope you both take lessons from this young man. She nods at me. Now, he looks like he eats right. I don't dare tell her that my diet's mostly just preserved meat and vegetables. We follow her through the front door, and I'm greeted with an apple and spice scent of the Burns' family foyer. The girls are out back in the rose garden, so don't any of you think about pestering them. What for? She quirks an eyebrow. For the bachelorette party. Is this your first wedding, honey? The first one with wealthy people. Been a while. I feel something hook on my elbow. Let me show our guests to the upstairs bathroom. I'll get a kettle of tea boiling. I can tell that we could all use the caffeine. Murdoch is guiding me up the stairs. There's something wrong? Oh, no, not in particular. I just want us all to be prepared. I'll come find you when you're sorted out. We can probably just get dressed in the same room. He's already gone. I sigh. This is one of the nicer bathrooms I've ever been in. There's porcelain knickknacks and silver bells. I hang the suit up on the door. And then I hear something. I go to the window and see something below. It's the sisters. Wedding superstition is that you're not supposed to look at the woman until they come out of a box, right? Or is that just the groom? Or just on the wedding day? Fuck it. You seem rather placid. Well, why shouldn't I be? I'm about to be surrounded by good food. Good company. I haven't been to a proper party in nearly a year, much less one planned for me. And everything's fine? Is it not? It's just strange to me that you don't have jitters yet. Why would I? I've looked forward to this day my entire life. Which means that you have expectations. Which means I have confidence, dear. Even if you shoot down his move proposal. The issue is on the back burner for now. I don't think it's particularly important. A home is still a home, wherever we might end up. And I suppose you think that will go over well with her? I suppose that it will have to. It's my life, after all. Despite its gravitational pull on the rest of us. There's no way that can last. We're going on 3 decades. Then I'm sorry. If you were sorry, then you'd push back a little harder when she puts more responsibilities on you. You should know by now that guilt trips don't work on me. I wasn't doing anything of the sort, you silly thing. You were. Now hold still. There's clumps in your tail. Evening, girls. Murdoch, you're a little early. Better than late, no? After a fashion. It's your day, Holly. Can I get you anything? A water might be nice. I have a few things written down that we could use for the party. Here it is. Excellent. I'll see it done after I get dressed myself. My tail whips over something, and I hear a sharp ringing sound. I realize now that the window is wide open and I'm now almost entirely nude. So I step away as quickly as I can. I don't hear anybody screaming, so I assume nobody saw me. I better hurry up. There. Shirt tucked. Vest buttoned. Cufflinks slotted. I walk downstairs and poke my head into the living room. I don't see Murdoch or Ralph yet. Oh good, you're here. Make yourself comfortable. We don't stigmatize the help in this house. She puts a cup on a coaster in front of me and pours it. Drink. I remember her earlier comments and no, it's not a suggestion. The taste is strong, but smooth. Surprisingly nice. So, what are you all about? What am I about, ma'am? She shrugs. Your hopes. Your dreams. Your ambitions. Ideologies. Anything really. I haven't quite sketched a mental image of you. The ink smudges are there, sure, but nothing substantial. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think I'm very interesting. It's quite rude to keep a conversation on ice, Mr. Ayers. You can tell me anything you like. Considering the great many families I come across in my line of work, I can guarantee that anything you could tell me I've probably heard about something else. I've been told that I have an open mind. Unless you're a communist. I'm afraid I don't know much about politics, ma'am. Well, that's no good. You're what, 23? 25. How can you possibly get the government to protect you if you don't even know what your government can do for you? I guess that's true. I was joking about the communism, by the way. Your labor's good to me, even if you don't believe in the dollar. Do you at least plan on voting this November? I don't really vote. So not only do you not know what to vote for, but you wouldn't even if you did? That's pitiful. I'm sorry our country failed you. Because it's been failing me since birth, sweetie. You at least know that women can't currently vote in this country, right? That's something I do know, at least. Unfortunately. She sees my frown and smiles. That won't be the case for long. I'd wager the house on that. We hear a knock on the door. Oh, for heaven's sake. You know, it would be the bee's knees if everybody were early at school every day. Go on and get the door. I don't think I could disobey this woman if I tried. I stand up and march to the door. Then I put my paw on the cold handle, twist it, and then tug it open. To be continued. Oof. So, stretching a bit. I actually kind of got, how would you call it? Not echoes, obviously, but, like little callbacks, maybe, to Echo. And, one of... I'm trying to think about what they are, but they're like slipping my mind. But certain little things here and there reminded me of Echo. It was during the conversation with Blithe, the ones with Melissa, and even some stuff between Murdoch and Sam. I mean, more or less what people want in this town is to get the hell out or to just carve out a life in the town. And I would say that most people who want to carve out a life in the town are people who are blissfully unaware of what's going on. And the people that want to escape are the people that know that there's something wrong with the town, or at the very least, feel that there's nothing for them there. And yeah, obviously the spider monster was first seen in Nikolai's route. Also, I'm sorry if you hear like a loud rumbling behind me, but there's an airplane or a jet like passing by right now. But yeah. I would hope, maybe, that Melissa is alive, but I sincerely doubt it. Especially because it kind of made it sound that that what Blithe and what Sam were seeing in the dream happened like maybe a few days ago. So that would actually suck tremendously. But who knows, maybe the girl is actually alive. You never know, but you would think that by now a miner would have found her or something. Because it looks like she's in the area where Nick, Sam, and Yao go to when they're gonna, be mining for the gold in Nick's route. And spoilers if you haven't seen that yet. But yeah. But they didn't find any other body. And at least it's confirmation that the body that they do find is a real body of someone. And it's the body of the girl who went missing that Blithe and Melissa, knew. So, poor Blithe, now she has two friends that are missing. One of them is confirmed dead, and one is, possibly dead. And I would also like to know eventually, eventually we will find out, but I'm curious to know who the person is that was speaking to the spirit. And I'm not convinced yet that the spirit is the spider monster. It might be something else. It might actually be the same thing that is inside of Sam's head. But it speaks to other people, not just him. Which would be very interesting, because up until now, we only ever get a sense that this monster or this thing, this voice, is always just inside of one person's head. And if it's inside of a whole bunch of people's heads, or if it is originating from the mind and it's manipulating people, then, that's more lore or more possibility to find out what exactly is going on in the town. But, as far as I am aware of, there's a spider monster, there's the spirit or demon that Sam sees when they're doing the seance thing, or no, the light as a feather, stiff as a board thing in, I think it's William's route, and you often see it behind William, actually. I think you see it behind William in Clifford's route, that it's sort of like attaching itself to him, possibly because out of all the characters, the sheriff is the one with the most potential to cause an incident to occur, which is what the town sort of feeds on. But yeah. I'm trying to remember what these little connections here and there are between Echo and the smoke room. But like little things that are sort of callbacks, not really connections. So yeah. I'm probably gonna remember them as I'm editing the video. So yeah. Anyways, So what are your thoughts about what you think is happening? And I was surprised when I first initially read this when the Patreon update came up, because I was expecting it to sort of switch over to Murdoch's perspective as it has in Clifford and William's route. But I think out of all the routes, Murdoch's and maybe Nikolai's are a little bit behind compared to the rest. But I kind of suspect that Murdoch's is a little bit more behind, because it not only has to do with Murdoch and Sam, it also has to do with Blithe. So I'm suspecting that eventually the three characters' paths will cross into what will become Murdoch's chapter 3. I think it's chapter 3 or 2, I forget. But yeah. So I'm fully looking forward to that because I like Echo lore. I like making, little, what you call it? Like, theories about what's going on in Echo, and then having the smoke room and even Arches present more information, is always fun. And always adds to the lore and the theories and stuff. Anyways, but so thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play the Smoke Room yourself and play any of the other routes, then you can find it over on itch. If you would like to support the Echo Project and get early access to all of the visual novels that they're doing, you can support them on Patreon, and there will be links down for the Twitter page, which gives you a direct link to the itch page and their Patreon down in the description. But I will post a link down for the Patreon too. So I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.